Well, I looked at the Balkans first of all, partly because I'd been there for almost 20 years and because I'm a sort of A-list celebrity in the Balkans, rather like being big in Japan. But it does mean that I had access to all sorts of people, in particular people involved in what was the mainstay of organized crime during the wars, which was the cigarette smuggling trade. Basically, getting hold of cigarettes very, very cheaply from factory gates, wherever they're made around the world, and bringing them through the Balkans, and then sending them across into Italy, up from Italy towards Belgium and France, where they're shipped across the English Channel. And that's why you will have noticed, if you're a smoker, the phenomenon over the past 10 years, that you've been able to buy cheap cigarettes on the streets all the time. They have almost all come through the Balkans. And what struck me as the most astonishing thing of all when I was doing this was the fact that all the people who were notorious paramilitary leaders and killers and nasty people were actually involved with their opposite numbers on the other side of the battle lines, as it were, involved in this trade of cigarette smuggling. So that you had this extraordinary cooperation between the people who were on the one hand doing the killing, but they were also dealing with one another the whole time, while ordinary people basically got slaughtered. Anyway, what I soon realized was that the Balkans had become the chief transit route for goods and services, illegal goods and services, or illicit goods and services from all over the world, whether it's trafficked women, whether it's drugs. Suddenly everyone wanted to go through the Balkans because the chaos of the war enabled these large pan-Balkan transnational crime operations to get the stuff into the European Union, where of course there's this huge demand for smoking untaxed cigarettes, for sleeping with prostitutes amongst the male population, for taking drugs and so on and so forth. And that's another very important thing that the Balkans told me, is that organized crime around the world is in one sense driven by demand for these goods and services in the EU, in the United States and in Japan.